Ice Spice, you know who that is?
She's the rapper
that
from the
has
Spice.
one-
Inuit Spice Girl. Just this chubby Chinese lady. Yeah, I'm rapping her music.
Sorry about I've said. I've never meant to hurt anybody. Sorry if I've offended you and like Ice Spice, because I don't want Ice Spice to think that I love you, Ice Spice. But I am genuinely sorry if I upset her because I love her.
Matty Healy's response to the backlash has made everything so much worse. Taylor Swift's new boyfriend can't help but to use slurs and make jokes. He poked fun at Ice Spice, and since then, he can't seem to catch a break. Will Taylor Swift really put up with all of this baggage? Let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Matty Healy is, he's Taylor Swift's latest boyfriend and the lead singer of a band called the 1975. Recently, he's been getting a lot of backlash for his behavior, and when asked about this, he's only made it so much worse. I have a full video breaking down Matty's entire history, so definitely go and check that out. But generally, he went on this podcast called The Adam Freeland Show, and he probably shouldn't have gone on there because he did a lot of damage, like making fun of different types of people, different celebrities, and now he has to deal with it all. So let's talk about this disgusting podcast episode, which has actually been removed from all platforms because it's so offensive. Matty and the other hosts decided to talk about celebrities, and Ice Spice came up, who is of Nigerian and Dominican descent. Matty called her an Inuit Spice Girl and then went on to make fun of her accent, calling her a chubby Chinese lady. Here's a clip from that episode.
Ice Spice, you know who that is?
Nick doesn't know who it is.
She's like
One of the Spice Girls.
Yes, that's
she's
right.
like this rapper.
She's the
girl
rapper
that
from the
has
Spice.
one-
Inuit Spice Girl. Just this chubby Chinese lady. Yeah, I'm rapping her music. Do they talk like that? Do Inuits talk like that?
They don't talk with a Chinese
It
accent.
talks like a more Hawaiian style.
Boom, wah.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
yeah.
Welcome to Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. Locals only.
Locals only.
Coconut.
Yeah, that's what Ice Spice is like.
She's a very attractive woman that released one song, and basically
So you
everyone's
slide
like,
in your DMs, you're like,
Yeah.
so what are you, a Eskimo or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, that's what I was like. You
Yeah.
Since getting with Taylor Swift, a lot of people have been calling this out. On Twitter, they're making it clear that they're upset over the fact that he made fun of Ice Spice using racial slurs and calling her a chubby Chinese lady. He was also poking fun at the accent, and it's all in such bad taste. Recently, Taylor Swift released a song with Ice Spice. It's not my favorite feature. Comment below what you guys think about it. I mean, it's not like the worst thing I've heard. It just seems a little bit slow for my liking. But nonetheless, it's a weird place to be in because he's, dating Taylor Swift and she's over here collabing with this person who everyone on the internet is defending against him. And I think it's interesting that Taylor Swift is even with this man because of the things that he has said. I mean, in the past, he has admitted to getting off to really graphic PORN. We've got a clip from that segment in the podcast as well.
Matty like on his phone and then on his like 77-inch OLED just got ghetto gaggers blaring 30 seconds after the hang, just going just hardcore pornography.
I heard that story, and the only part that bothered me was
Why on earth? Like, how psychopathic do you have to be to like airplay porn to your like TV?
I remember just a yoga class filled with fat black women, and then one guy just on his phone, one guy jerking off, and people were like, "Are you jerking off to us?" And they're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
and he's like, "No, there's women of size on my watch."
like you said, I think it literally was like ghetto gaggers was on the TV. It's just somebody just getting like brutalized, and it wasn't like some cool, sceney New York art girl who was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter." Like it was Little Olive who came in. She's like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah, she like Britishly apologized.
It's just like, and I'm like, "I'm so, it's fine, it's okay."
Can you imagine having a friend who feels so comfortable with just, getting off in the living room, putting this, horrific content on the television and then allowing you to walk in and witness it all, that's just really like creepy behavior. It's giving Me Too energy. Then there are the moments where he has done some things that make it seem like he may be anti-Semitic, like him praising Kanye West on stage and, you know, doing a certain salute, which just really clearly shows where he stands on the issue. So, he's just a really offensive guy, and maybe Taylor Swift likes the edginess, but none of her fans support this behavior. So now let's get to his response, because, you know, all eyes are on him. He's dating the most successful singer right now at this moment. So, you know, this could be his opportunity to fix it all, save his reputation, and, you know, make his girlfriend Taylor look good. But he does the complete opposite. Recently, The New Yorker did a special piece about him, and Matty did an interview. The author writes, "I asked him about the podcast. He had been doing so much promo, he told me, that he wanted to do something that felt more like simply talking with his friends. But of course, he had done this all in public on a microphone." So these are the conversations that Matty is having with his friends. Like, what a gross guy. I can't even imagine what he and Taylor are talking about. But he was asked about his embarrassing comments, and the author writes, "Had he baited his fans on purpose?" Matty says, "A little bit. But it doesn't actually matter. Nobody is sitting there at night slumped over their computer and their boyfriend comes over and goes, 'What's wrong, darling?' And they go, 'It's just this thing with Matty Healy.' That doesn't happen." "Maybe it does," the author replied. Matty continues, "If it does, you're either deluded or you are, sorry, a liar. You're either lying that you are hurt or you're a bit mental for being hurt. It's just people going, 'Oh, there's a bad thing over there. Let me get as close to it as possible so you can see how good I am.' And I kind of want them to do that because they're demonstrating something so base level." So there is zero accountability, not one apology detected, and it seems like he can't even really acknowledge that his comments were offensive. He's just calling everyone else soft. As I mentioned, the podcast has been removed because it is offensive. I mean, you know, I kind of, you know, I sympathize with censorship because I go through a lot when it comes to censorship. So I do feel like, you know, there's kind of a little overstep on censorship, but also I can't help it but say that, yes, his podcast episode was really gross, and I think it speaks volumes about his own character. He did end up apologizing to Ice Spice directly in front of an audience during one of his concerts. He goes on for a moment and he explains that he doesn't want to be a bad person anymore. It's because everything happens in eras. Eras, very convenient because his girlfriend's on the Eras tour. Let's go ahead and react to his apology together. Also, do you think he genuinely meant this? Do you think he wanted to apologize? Do you think the pressure was too much? Do you think Taylor said, "Hey, I'm collabing with her, go and fix this before it comes out"?
Sorry about shit I've said. I've never meant to hurt anybody. Sorry if I've offended you, and like, Ice Spice, I'm sorry. I wasn't. It's not because I'm annoyed that me joking got misconstrued. It's because I don't want Ice Spice to think that I'm a dick. I love you, Ice Spice. I'm so sorry. But I don't want anything I get misconstrued to be mean. Like, I don't mind being like a bit of a joker. And there's so many people here that are like, what the f*** is this part of the show? Does he do this all the time? I know that you know that I do. But like, I don't want to be, it's okay for me to be like a trickster or whatever, but I don't want to be perceived as like kind of mean-hearted, because honestly, I just love you guys and I love doing this, and you know. He's a charmer for sure. I have a feeling he could talk his way out of these because, you know, Ice Spice isn't going to respond. He's apologized. She's collabed with, you know, his girlfriend. So it seems like he may be off the hook when it comes to this one. Though I still can't get over the fact that he once publicly said that it would be emasculating to date Taylor Swift, especially because they are together now and, you know,
He won't acknowledge their relationship. She won't either, but clearly they're dating. If they weren't dating, they would have made it very clear because there's so much press questioning it. And it's not necessarily great for Taylor's career, which she seems to be very protective over. Recently, he did speak about their relationship to a crowd of people by saying that he's not going to be talking about their relationship. So it kind of like comes off cryptic because I guess he said, quote, "Is it all a bit? Is it sincere? Will he ever address it? All of these questions and more will be ignored in the next hour. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1975. I mean, he's definitely loving the influx of fame. He's getting so much attention. And honestly, I never knew his name until this entire relationship. But don't go and act like you're not a thing and, you know, trying to promote your band using her name, her influence, when you're over here dancing with their dad, you know, appearing at these shows, clearly hanging out and acting romantic. There are so many paparazzi shots of them together already, so there's no real denying it at this point. We all know. Maybe Matty wants to be a better man. I mean, I can't judge him for that. We can only wish that everyone would want to become a better person. I saw back in 2014, he had issues with like smoking and drug problems, and I wasn't able to find too much information about his recovery or how long he's been sober, if he is sober, but I found it interesting that he's gone through it, and I don't know if he's necessarily like the best influence for someone like Taylor Swift, but at the same time, we don't know them personally, and we can't really judge. We can just judge on their behavior, and by his behavior, I'm just surprised that we're even in this situation because he doesn't seem like a great person. Anyways, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Here's my email if you have any other video ideas for me, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.